Fusion is the latest addition to the Trials franchise, which, for those of you who don't know, you poor souls, is an amazing, funny, and very, very hard motorbike game. But when I say motorbike game, I don't mean motorbike races. It's not like a moto racer kind of game. It's more of a physics-based, confusing puzzle game. A lot of the tracks, which are only about 2 to 3 minutes long, have you going over these enormous jumps, those explosions. When you get to the end, you'll usually crash and die a really over-the-top fatal death. Everything is very, very funny, and honestly, it's very hard. So the way the physics works is that you accelerate and brake, and it's honestly on a 2D kind of map, so you can only see the side of the bike and you can't actually move the world, but they do a very, very good job of making everything look 3D. But for every single track that you go through, and they do start off very easy and end up getting very, very hard, there are also a whole bunch of extra challenges. While completing some of them can be hard in itself, it gets a whole lot more difficult when you're going up against your friends. On every single one, there's a little leaderboard to the side where you can see what your friends have ranked and what times they've scored. And while you're going through a track, a little name will come up on the screen that will tell you exactly where your friend was at that point. Sometimes you'll be in front of them for a split second and then they'll catch up somehow and you'll spend all of your time trying to figure out how the hell they beat you by so much. But because of this, it gives the game a huge amount of replayability. So all of that stuff isn't actually new to the Trials games, which I suppose is a bit of an issue. There's nothing that you can really add to these Trials games to make them completely different from all the others when ideally they're basically the same thing. What is a little bit different are tricks. There are tricks in this game that you can do, like the Superman when you're just hanging on to the edge of your bike, or the Preacher where you're standing on top of it, and some of these would be absolutely impossible to do. The way these work are basically that you hold down one thumbstick and hold up another one, and you can flip and get extra points in some of the skill games. You can't really use them in the regular tracks, there's no real point, but those skill games do make this kind of thing a lot of fun. When you're trying to rack up points by getting a certain amount of tricks done, or you're trying to fling your rider across the screen by falling off the bike and into explosions, everything is just so ridiculous and honestly really unexpected. As someone who's played all of the Trials games, while this one is very, very similar, it's still a lot of fun, and I would recommend it to anyone who is looking to have hours of laughs. It's available on the Xbox One, PS4, Xbox 360 and PS3. I'm Alana, and you've been watching Button Bash.